Good evening and welcome to Teenstagram's live session. Okay, so first of all, I'd like to thank all of you for your response on the last live session. And now moving further, the Independence Day is knocking at the door, and we are too much excited. अंदर से वो देशभक्ति वाली फीलिंग जग ही जाती है इस वीक में और इसलिए ये लाइव सेशन 4 दिन 4 people 4 लोग and with 4 unsung heroes जिन्हें सब जानते हैं मगर हम नजरअंदाज करते आए हैं पर इस पैंडेमिक में उनका बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल रहा है हमारे ज्यादा टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करते हुए आई लाइक टू इनवाइट मिस्टर दिमान घोष गुड इवनिंग सर
Good evening.
Okay, so Diman sir is here. I'd like to inform you all that Diman sir is the chief advisor of Teenstagram, and he will be taking the live with me today. I will be the co-host, and Diman sir is the host for the evening. So, sir,
Thank you
the
so
stage
much,
is yours.
Praveen. It's my pleasure to be the part of this live session because when you have taken unseen heroes, today is the frontline warrior that Dr. Binayak Dey, whom you will be introducing right shortly. So I am being honored that you have been taking part and giving me the opportunity to host, becoming the host of Instagram in today's program. I will not take much of your time. So, Praveen, I would like to tell you that you add sir and introduce sir to the viewers today.
So, sir is over here. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, good evening.
Okay.
Good evening.
So, sir, Dr. Vinayak Dev has joined the live session with us today. There are a lot of achievements sir carries with him, and one such is his profession. He's a doctor. He's a senior cardiologist, and that's a great thing. Sir has graduated in 1984 from the SCB Medical College in Cuttack. Sir has achieved post-graduation qualifications and cardiology training from UK and Ireland. Sir has been working with several foundations, one being MRHF Foundation, treating the patients of rural Bengal. Now, not just the COVID patients, Sir has also taken up the challenge to cure the non-COVID cardiac patients, which few doctors are now taking it seriously. Sir has been creating public awareness amongst the public, both in the print and the electronic media, and that's a great thing in this part of our life when everything is seeming like everything is going to stop. Welcome to the live session, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, first of all, I would like to thank you, sir, for taking out your valuable time for us right now. We know that what an important time it is for a doctor during this pandemic thing, and that's great, and that's so generous of you that you have taken out the time for us. Now, Diman sir would carry on with few words.
First of all, thank you so much for giving your crucial time to us, sir, in this pandemic situation when you are working day and night to save us. And first of all, a big salute to you. For you people, we are only saved. So, sir, my first question will be to you that in this pandemic situation, people are staying at home. They are disturbed. They wanted to come out of their houses. They are getting frustrated. They are getting depressed. Now, you tell me, sir, that how can they keep themselves from this depression, out of this depression, and they can keep themselves fit and fine?
First of all, my thanks to Praveen and Dhiman for hosting the show during this COVID pandemic, and obviously the Independence Week we are in. Uh, I would like to talk about my healthcare colleagues who are the frontline warriors in the pandemic. More than senior consultants and doctors like us, the younger doctors, the nursing professionals, all the paramedic who are working in the hospitals and in the healthcare facilities, they are actually our frontline warriors, and they are actually the real heroes in this pandemic. We, the frontline, the doctors who are the senior doctors and the mentors, we are actually behind the scene, helping them, guiding them in this war. So I would like to give my salute to those hundreds and thousands of healthcare workers who, in their different capacities, are working day and night in the hospitals and in the healthcare setups all across the globe. It's not just about India, it's not just about Asia, it's actually a global pandemic. And so many people have also lost their lives, not only the patients, but also the healthcare workers who lost their lives in treating these patients. So, a big salute to them as well. Uh, the question which you asked about how to cope with this pandemic mentally and physically. There are two aspects, as you mentioned, correctly mentioned, the mental aspect, which is a very, very important one, and which is assuming a very, very important status in the fight against this pandemic. Because as we know, in the COVID, patients who are hospitalized constitutes only 15 to 20% of the positive patients, but about 80% patients are asymptomatically positive who are actually staying at home. And also, the normal population who are not affected by COVID, they are also at home. So it's a huge challenge for the normal people and the asymptomatic positive people to stay at home all the time, because as per the advisories of the WHO, as per the advisories of the central government and the state government, we have been experiencing lockdowns continuously for 2 months since March, and now we have intermittent lockdowns in different states as per the regulations of the state. So during those lockdowns, obviously, everybody is advised to stay at home, even if when the lockdowns are not in place and people are walking out to their offices and different areas where they have to work, still they have a lot of impediments in the sense that they have been asked to wear masks, they have been asked to maintain social distancing, they have been asked to comply with their hand hygiene, which were not a part of our normal lives before the COVID struck. So in the pre-COVID era, it was all about social mixing. It was all about seeing faces. It was all about talking to each other in person, attending live matches in the stadiums. As you know, that this was the IPL time. So basically, people used to throng into the stadiums to see the IPL matches. People used to go to different parts of the country and auditoriums for cultural functions. So a lot of things, cinema halls, shopping malls, you name it, school, colleges. So those things are not happening right now. So that's a huge area for concern uh, for the population at large. So what we say that if we do not make people aware of the problems of this COVID-19 disease, then people will not understand why they are locked up at home. Forget about the adult population. I'm talking about children who are not allowed to go to school since March. And it's a huge burden for them, because school is not only about education, school is about having fun, having mixing with people, mixing with your friends, talking to them, interacting with them. So it is not all about studies. So the studying bit is actually happening online, but what is not happening is that you cannot have an online friendship going on. You cannot have talking to people or your friends online. Even if it is done electronically, it is never the same when you are actually meeting up with people. So it's a huge challenge for the children as well, and the adult population as well. So staying at home, depression, a lot of anxiety, a lot of areas of queries, curiosities are coming up. So which we are trying to tell the population at large to cope with in different manner. We're trying to give them hope that this thing is not a permanent thing. This COVID-19 era is going to end sometime. Whether it is soon or later, we don't know, but definitely this is not going to stay forever. So there is a ray of hope, and it is very important that we stay well, because if we get contracted with this virus, there's a lot of problems which is associated with it. Because if your future has to be good, you have to stay healthy today. That's the message we need to give to the population. And as regards the physical aspects, as I mentioned, that social distancing, putting masks on, hand hygiene, boosting your immunity with different kinds of vitamins. So these are the kind of things which we recommend for people.
Great, great. That's really great. Like these things, we keep on neglecting the socializing part and all, which is almost gone nowadays from our society just because of the pandemic. But the hope is there. Someday it will be fine. Someday we'll start socializing again. Someday we'll be on the playgrounds back again. Just we need to be positive and wait for that day to come. Now, being a doctor is considered as next to God, because the life of a person is in his or her hands. Now, what it feels like saving one's life, being a doctor and saving one's life.
I do not subscribe to your theory of being next to God, because I think there is only one God, and the rest of us are actually followers, and we believe in that superpower which is there guiding us. So, and we are in a profession where we actually facilitate uh, the health of a person. That's all we do. We try to give them advice. We try to tell them what to do, what not to do. When they fall sick, they come to us. We try to help them to get well, and that's about it. The rest of the things is actually in the hands of destiny, I believe. Who is going to live how long does not depend on a doctor. It depends on your destiny, how long you're going to live. The quality of life, definitely, we can advise how to live a qualitative life. I always say that the quantity of life doesn't matter that much. The quality of life is very, very important. So a person who lives up to the age of 80 or 85, say, I would want that person to be very, very fit and healthy, rather than being in a vegetative state or in a state where they are very, very ill. So, as I was talking to one of my colleagues this morning, I was telling him that this lifestyle changes and the lifestyle modification and the lifestyle actually matters the most, more than the medicines, more than the surgeries we do. The lifestyle actually determines how we are going to be. And that should start when you are at school, at the school going age. Because if you lead a healthy lifestyle when you are in the schools, I'm sure that when you are in your 30s and 40s, you will have good habits with you. And if you have good habits when you are in your 30s and 40s, that will lead you to a healthy person when you are in the 50s and 60s. And then you are quite mature to know what is good and what is bad for you. But if your lifestyle is not good at the time when you're young, when you're in your schools, when you're in your colleges, then what is going to happen is the sickness is not going to come when you are in your 30s. It is going to come a little later. But the seeds of disease would already have been sown when you are very young. So I would like all the patients who are already sick to give a message and to the population that be healthy when you are young and lead a good lifestyle. and that includes your mental lifestyle, your physical lifestyle, that includes exercising, that includes good habits, that includes uh, not to do some things in life like smoking and tobacco uses, and that includes a lot of other things which should not be done. So we all know in this internet age what are the good things and what are the bad things in life, uh, which relates to disease. So I would always request and appeal to the young population to stay away from all these bad habits, because if you do that when you are young, you are actually uh, giving yourself a good chance to have a good life later on.
That's true. That's true, doctor. Doctor, I would like to ask one more thing. How you keep yourself so cool and concentrate on your work? Because as we get disturbed with several things, but for you people, you also get disturbed with several things. But when you come to your professional life, you see a patient. How you keep yourself so cool and concentrate on that patient?
I must say that I have developed this habit from a very, very young age because, and I give the full credit to the game which I've played called cricket. So I have started playing cricket from the age of 4, and I have played representative level of cricket in India and in the different countries like UK, Ireland, and Singapore. So that game actually has given me a lot, and it has given me the power of concentration. It has given me the power of judgment, and it is also a team game. It's not an individual game. So and medical treatment is also a teamwork. So I think there are a lot of analogies which can be drawn from the game of cricket. If you play that well, and if you are a good student of cricket, I think you can understand this concept of concentration, judgment, and to remain cool in tough circumstances.
Okay.
That's true. That's true, doctor. As you are a cricket lover, I would like to tell that now IPL is going to begin very soon. Now, cricketers were practicing at home. They have not gone to the field till date. What will be their mental health? How they will perform in the ground when they will come for this first match for IPL?
I think most of the cricketers who will be participating in the IPL would have been, exercising and practicing not the game of cricket, but obviously the physical conditioning when they're at home. Most of them, and they'll probably have a month to kind of practice before they get onto the park for the first game. But the biggest challenge, which is going to be, is because of the SOPs which have been formed by the BCCI for this IPL. The SOPs are very, very tough. These are the standard operating procedures which will be given for all the players and the teams, which says that every player has to stay in their own room and they cannot meet with other people. So doing it for the next for a period of 60 days is a huge challenge because besides the physical aspects, which can be made up, the mental aspect of the game is going to be very tough. Staying away from family, not seeing each other's face for 60 days in a row, it is going to be a huge challenge. But let's see. This is the first time this is ever going to happen because as you know, the football tournament, the soccer games, and even the test matches which has happened in England so far, they're short ones. 5-day games, and then they're off again. But doing it for a 60-day IPL is going to be one of the biggest challenges for the mental part of the cricketer. So I'm sure these cricketers are mentally very tough because they play under very tough situations and circumstances in a game. But this is going to be different. They'll have to play in empty stadiums or near empty stadiums, which they are not used to. So they'll be doing a lot of things which they're not used to besides playing the game. So it's going to be a big challenge, but I'm sure that they'll overcome it.
Like when we uploaded the poster that Dr. Vinayak Dev sir is going to join us on the live. People were so very excited that they are going to witness a COVID warrior in front of themselves. Like there were a lot of questions which they were asking, and as we mentioned that you are a senior cardiologist, the heart related questions were at the peak. So some questions were repetitive, like a lot of them have asked the same questions. And one such question was, after a person has been treated of the heart attack or cardiovascular disease, like a stent has been placed or a pacemaker, then is there any hope of the lifestyle to get back to normal again with the same things?
Absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely. Once somebody has angioplasty or a bypass surgery done and the blockage is cleared or bypassed, you get back to your normal lifestyle. That is the reason we do these procedures for a person. This is not only a life-saving procedure, but it also gives you a quality of life. So, to answer your question, yes, obviously, somebody who's had angioplasty or a bypass surgery will get back to normal. But the thing is that which you have to know as a patient, that you cannot go back to the lifestyle which has caused this disease for you. Like if you're a smoker, you have to give up smoking completely. If you had diabetes, blood pressure, or high cholesterol, that needs to be controlled. What you cannot control is the family history, which is there for you for the rest of your life. But the rest of the things, your lifestyle, your weight reduction regime, your dietary habits, everything has to be looked into. Once the reasons why you originally had the blockages are taken care of, then your quality of life is going to get back to complete normal.
and one more question followed, which was like, uh, it was from a patient who was just treated and a stent was placed in his heart. Now his question was like, he's having a medicine right now for the removing the extra water in his body. Is that medicine so much necessary, and why? Like, what's the use of removing extra water right now? Can't the body function to remove the water?
See, any medicines which has been prescribed by the doctor who has treated has was required at some point of time. No medicines is that it has to be given lifetime. So, what I would suggest this friend of ours actually to follow on with the doctor who has prescribed the medicines for the right reasons. And whenever the water retention problem goes off, maybe it is possible that the medicines will be reduced, or at sometimes it might be taken off completely. So I would request any patients who undergoes angioplasty or bypass surgery to be in the follow-up of doctors for all point of time. Because what happens a lot of time that you feel good and you do not visit your doctor regularly. But if you do that, then you have a chance of a recurrence, because some of the medicines needs to be titrated down, some of the medicine needs to be taken off completely, some medicines needs to be added, your lifestyle parameters needs to be monitored. So there are a lot of things which needs to be looked after. So those things are best treated by your treating doctor. So please go back to him on regular intervals and follow his advice.
Doctor, we are finding that a lot of film stars, cricketers are depressed and they are doing suicide. What is the reason behind it? This pandemic has caused this depression more and more. This is affecting that they are going for the suicide and all.
See, suicide rates was never discussed pre-COVID era. You know, we never knew what was the percentage of suicides in the world. I believe it is pretty high, but nowadays, definitely in the COVID era, a lot of normal populations are also depressed, and that's understandably so, because people who are so active, so very active, they are confined to their homes, and this is a very abnormal situation. So definitely, who people who are depressed or people who are anxious, and they think that they cannot cope with themselves. It is better that they talk to a psychologist or a psychiatrist to find out, to get help. Psychiatrists and psychologists do not always give medicines. They actually hold your hands, particularly when you are actually down and out. So, and they're very well equipped and authorized people to look after the mental part of your health, which is very, very important in during this pandemic. So, be it film stars, be it cricketers, or be it any celebrities, and even general population at large, I think if things are getting out of hand, which you feel, which you are the best person to judge yourself, it is better that you take professional help in these matters.
Okay. So, like, the rate has been increasing for the CVD disease patients. Like, as of 2016, a research said that 23.6 million people in India itself were prevalent patients of heart diseases. And, like, on the basis of a research, it was like 1 in 4 person dies due to a heart disease or cardiovascular disease. So, and from the beginning, it was like the people who were aged uh, got affected to these symptoms, but now the age is decreasing. Like, the youth is coming and getting involved into the, like, being affected by the cardiovascular diseases. So, what's the message for the youth right now? To
See, when I
uh,
started my practice, what used to happen is that the uh, son is to bring the father, or the grandson or granddaughter is to bring their grandfathers for treatment of heart disease. Things have come to a point now that where I see fathers and grandfathers bringing their sons and daughters and grandsons and granddaughters for heart treatment. So, going by your point, definitely the age of heart attacks in India and in the Indian subcontinent has actually come down dramatically. We see patients with heart attacks in the age of 30s and 40s very frequently nowadays. Now, there are a few attributes because, first of all, genetically, we are very predisposed to heart problems. And secondly, we have acquired all the kind of the side effects of the Western culture, the fast foods and the smoking attributes and all those things, which were not there in our ancient culture and traditionally, which was not there. Those things have come back. And the corporate culture is one of the important factors which I need to mention because previously it was a 9 to 5 job and it was a Monday to Friday maximum. And after that, once you're out of your office, you forget everything. Particularly in Calcutta, we know that we used to have the Rock, where the addas used to happen, and people used to just enjoy their life. But in the corporate culture now, there is no time limit anymore. I mean, people are working day in and day out, and Sundays and Saturdays don't matter anymore. Weekends, even if somebody is driving out to a resort, there are going to be meetings in the resorts. So basically, you are always occupied, and there is no leisure time. That is one of the very important factors I feel, where you are not unwinding at all and you are not having any mental relaxation, because at the end of the day your bad habits uh, add to these mental pressures, and that causes the heart problems to happen. So what I feel now in the COVID era, where people are actually working from home, that is got worse now because the working hours are actually increased dramatically, and there is no working hours now at all. Any time is actually a working hour. And in the corporate culture particularly, what I've heard that 16 18 hours is a normal thing, particularly working from home, and that is a very, very abnormal situation to happen. So these kind of things are actually attributing to the young heart attacks at this present moment of time. So if we have to break this chain of getting the young people out of this pandemic, I would again call the heart attack pandemic, then we have to change a few things again. What used to happen in the olden times was actually pretty good because you had your office time, then you had your off time, and during your off time, you never thought about work. So the relaxation and the working pattern were very distinct. Now the whole thing is blurred. So that chain has to be broken. And I think you need to enjoy life a lot more and not run after, fame, money, and whatever, ambition in life. Those things, if you do not have health, you'll at the end of the day, you'll not be able to enjoy what you have earned for so long, working during your young years.
Doctor, I will not take much of your time in this pandemic situation. So, doctor, any message for the viewers who are watching to keep them fit and healthy?
I would say that, add life to your years and not years to your life. That is the bottom line. So to add life to your years, I think I just mentioned what are the things to be done, because it is actually the quality of life which matters and not the quantity at all.
Doctor, one more thing. Any message for the Teenskagram website and the members of the Teenskagram?
I congratulate Instagram for actually conducting these kind of shows, and I wish that these kind of shows gets propagated amongst the young children and the young followers in India and abroad as well. And I'm sure that if you think that you require my assistance in this matter, I'm always ready to actually participate in these kind of shows.
That's so nice of you. Thank you so much, doctor. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Dhiman.
much.
Thank you, Praveen. Thank you. Bye.
No, thanks. Okay, so this was
We had a
Dr.
nice
Vinayak Dev.
interaction.
Yeah, it was really great to talk with a COVID warrior just in front of our eyes.
And not only COVID warriors, they are the frontline warriors who are working
Yes.
day and night for us.
And he was in his uniform, fully ready, like he was still working. He took out his value every time for us, and
Yeah,
that's so generous of him.
yes, when the program started, I had a goosebump seeing a doctor live, and I'm speaking, I'm hosting. It was a amazing evening we had.
Right. So Divan sir is like, he's our backbone. Divan sir is the backbone of Teenskagram. Now Divan sir is going to give some message for the viewers regarding Teenskagram.
Keep watching Teenskagram. They are doing very good. Their members are working very hard this Independence Day week. Stay tuned. A lot of COVID warriors, the frontline warriors are there. Several cricketers are there. Stay tuned. You'll get in touch with them. You'll come to know about several things from them. Those unseen heroes, they will give several message to you people, which you can learn. And these youngsters are doing fabulous for this Teenskagram. They are giving platform to these youngsters. So stay tuned with Teenskagram.
Shall we give them the hint for tomorrow's guest?
Why not?
Okay, so I'd like to listen it from your mouth. Like, it's such a big name, and big names are meant to be taken from big personalities.
Nothing as such. I would like to tell you, you sing one song. One song is there, Kandho se Kandhe Milte Hai.
Acha.
That will hit them.
ओके, कंधों से मिलते हैं कंधे, कदमों से कदम मिलते हैं, हम चलते हैं जब ऐसे तो दिल दुश्मन के हिलते हैं. That's
So
it.
you only
Now,
tell.
okay, so he's related to the army or the armed forces.
Is it? I don't know.
Okay. Like, let's tell them enough of quizzes. Like, just let's announce the name. So tomorrow we are going live with
I don't know. You only say.
Sir. Tomorrow we are going live with Sir Amit Shah. Now, Sir is a Indo-Tibetan police officer. He has been serving the nation from the front line, and he's going to join tomorrow's live and there is going to be a lot of questions, lot of answers, and a very interesting session for you all. So stay tuned with Instagram, and don't forget to attend tomorrow's live.
And do subscribe. That's
Yes, do subscribe, like, and share. With this message, let's end the session. Have a good night, and bye bye.
bye bye.